No getting naked on camera. All right. So we are in our second stream of the day. It is Friday. Friday is the perfect day from which to make art, like any day. But Friday is extra special because Friday is a day where the majority of people are either looking for something to do, resting for the weekend, looking to enjoy and take time off from work. And it's the perfect day because Saturdays you just want to chill. You just want to wind down. You just want to, go outdoors and enjoy things. You want to make use of your free time. But Fridays are like this wonderful evening where if you're on a typical 9 to 5 Monday through Friday schedule, Fridays are like the perfect nights because Saturday nights you've got plans, Sunday nights you probably got plans, Saturday morning you probably got plans, Saturday evening you probably got plans, Sunday morning you probably got plans. All through the day, Saturday and Sunday, you probably got plans. But Friday nights, you probably got plans. But at the same time, you probably also want to wind down too. Friday nights, you got to make a choice. It could be a tough choice of whether you stay in or whether you decide to make some art. And if you make art, you will not regret your decision. That said, old school Dave, welcome. So, old school Dave says, "Do I hear that?" And I know what you're talking about, Dave. So, there you go. You have it has all been arranged, adjusted, fixed, modified, and we're just going to continue on this painting. So this painting is 30 by 40 inches. So 30, 40 inches, fairly large painting for myself. I usually don't paint this large, but I am now. I can consider myself a painting largely. Go big. Go big, don't go home. Don't go home, just go big. You don't even have to go home. Don't even consider going home. Just paint big. So here we go. We're actually going to bring this down right here. Nice and straight down right here. Now we're going to bring this area, and then right around here we're going to go across. Try to find, little bits of brown here. Yes, Dave, there will be silence here. There's silence today. You hear that silence, it is beautiful. Where am I laying these down? I'm just using my references, just trying to find little spots to just place some of these little streaks of. So these are actually just giant stones. I'm trying to create this like illusion of stonage. So I should create a nice line going down here. Is that better? Does this live stream make you happy now, Dave? It's coming along. Nice. Wow, Dave. All right. Dave approves. We have been given the double thumbs up from Dave, so Dave approves. That means that someone is guaranteed to buy this painting. Approval by Dave. If only Dave pitched this to his friends. If only Dave told all his friends about this live stream. That'd be awesome, right? So who else has sent the message? Someone sent an inappropriate message. Dave Streamer, sir. Was me and the lady talking about getting naked. I said so. I told her that she was in the stream, and I was just reminding her to not get naked. So to your disappointment, yes, we were talking about that, but not in the way that you might think. Not in the way you're hoping. So I'm thinking of doing this whole painting in this like this crisscross style here. It's like crisscrossed style. Grab a little bit of our mineral spirit here. But yes, we did say that at the beginning. I said this is a live stream, so do not get naked in front of the camera, please. Do not. I mean, you know, I could potentially have a viral video on my hands, but also, you know, I've committed so much time to my live streams that, you know, last thing I want to do is start all over again with a different channel. If I'm even allowed to. I feel like YouTube now, I heard that YouTube's actually right now cracking down, or even Amazon Live, right? I'm on Amazon Live right now. I think they're really cracking down on, you know, people that have been, like, if you've been banned once, it's pretty much like you have no second chances. That if you've been banned once for streaming something, then you're banned forever. I think that's the case now. So I can't afford that, you know? I can't afford to lose all of this that I put so much effort into. So I do my best. I gotta be on my best behavior. You know, people talk about like, oh, you know, like art, YouTube, it's like an opportunity to like be your own employee. But at the end of the day, I realize that, you know, I do have commitments. I have commitments to my viewers. I have commitments to, you know, stick with the rules of YouTube. I have bosses. Like Omizu is a, you know, paying subscriber, and I have commitments to Omizu, right? I have commitments to viewers, to subscribers, to, you know, anybody who's got a stake in my channel in some way. These are all reasons to be on your best behavior when you're live streaming. That's right. You're not really being your own boss. You're just finding a different boss. You just have to, you know, be on your own. Figure out your own methods of doing things. And this rest of the rest of this building is going to be much lighter shade. Now let's actually paint this next part really nice and thick with our white here. We're going to get this really nice and thick. This is the side that's facing the light here. Get it in here really nice and thick. So here we go. This painting, if you're in case you're wondering, is called My Day at the Getty. So if you don't know what the Getty is one of Los Angeles' most iconic museums. It is like a massive, massive fortress. It's a massive fortress, absolutely stunning, beautiful, massive fortress of a building, just like stone with stones that are the size of multiple people, and it's just a stunning, beautiful museum. And what else can I say about it? It's just a wonderful place, and there's a lot of fine art there. They have a Van Gogh painting. They have a lot of classical pieces. A lot of, we all know the Van Gogh painting is always going to be the most popular, but they have Cézanne there. They have Titian. They have an Artemisia Gentileschi painting recently. And you know what I want to do? I want to flatten out this. I want to flatten out this little section right here. Let's flatten it out. I think it's a little bit too I don't like the design of it. Got a little bit more mineral spirit. We're just gonna paint it down, give it like this warm. This warm paint overlay here. So let's go like this. So we're gonna add this color and we're gonna paint it in. We're gonna actually go right into here. This will come up a little bit, so we're gonna aim this like that, right down. Just allow the different areas of the paint to overlap each other. Add a little bit of a stroke there. Oh, no, that should not be there, but it's okay. So let's go like this. Crisscross, crisscross, cross across. So how's it looking? So you got an idea of a building there. And let's go, actually we have a little bit more building right over here in this little corner right here. So let's bring this little corner down. I want to keep this one fairly loose. The buildings here, fairly loose. Just want to see how to really capture the beauty of an idea without, getting too into the weeds of too into the weeds. So let's see, this one we're going to create a nice little. Talking to me?
No.
The shape there. This down. We're going to get another shape right here. We're gonna keep it this rough looking design until we finally decide to get in there. Now let's paint this next row slightly darker. gonna have a hint of these colors here. What is this building? Alright, so we're just going to go into this building, bring this down. And let's go paint this in. Really get the paint off the brush and onto the canvas. Let's go like this. Paint it in, paint it in. This across. Paint this in. Paint that across. So let's go capture our white here. Try to make sure we tighten up our highlights here. So a very nice highlight right down here. And this highlight's going to come around. That architecture design there. Huh. How's that looking? Alright. Not bad. Let's see. Straighten that up. Let's go into here. You want to go. Go paint into here with some of this pink. Actually, no, I'm starting to lose this this texture, so I want to come back to it. I think it's okay to lose this texture for the buildings, but I want to bring this back here. It's more delicate. This style here of doing this maybe this isn't the best brush for it.
Right here. Go on.
Alright, let's clean the brush off here. See how this is looking right? Got the walkway. I really find these red dot brushes, anything with I think it's red sable. I don't know. Alexa, what is red sable?
From Etsy.com. Red sable hair comes from the Tales of Martin.
Alexa, what is a martin?
In Latin America, the name Martin means warlike. In Spanish, the name Martin means warrior. In England, the name Martin means warrior.
Alexa, what kind of animal is... Oh, it's a weasel?
Weasel is a group
Oh,
of
so this is a
animals.
weasel hair. Alexa, off. So this is weasel hair. Red sable is weasel hair. I don't really like weasel hair. I like badger hair better. But
Your chops. I see you with your chops.
let's go. How can we add some more pop into this area right here? I want to add these streaks of pink here. I'm just gonna go streaks of pink here. Just go across this walkway.
Simba, buddy. Simba. Look at that.
Let's go grab some white in here. Lighten up this color. And cross. And just continuing on with this like style. Style is very brushwork heavy, but I think what happens is it really creates these interesting textures and designs. Keeps it, gives it like this nice loose design that feels a little bit, it's different. It's different. Let's see. All right, so it's kind of like this like graphical look. It really gives it like a little bit of extra shine, shine, because of the interaction with the bright colors and the white. The interaction with all the colors really creates like an effect. When you're looking at this. All right, so let's work on this little piggy. This little piggy needs some bright reds. So we're actually going to start with let's start with a yellow, and it's going to transition into little bright red sections. So we're going to go like here, and let's go. Let's just build up. Build up this color here, and we're going to come around and we're going to go into here, add this nice streaky yellow. You know what? Add a little bit more mineral spirits into this to loosen up the paint. It's going to go. Let me see if I can find. I want to add a little bit of red, but you know what? I'm gonna add the reds later. I'm going to start by building up our pink. Let's go grab our brown sienna. We'll lay it down. Grab our yellow and pink and rose. We're just going to find little pops of like this dark orange color. Just little pops of this. Just little pops. And what I really want to do is I really want to like, I don't want to give this whole painting like this like hard, clean like line look. So I'm trying to play with like different brush movements that I could do to like capture the leaves, but not actually like draw them out. I don't want this painting to be too realistic or figurative or whatever. However you want to define it, right? I don't want this to be overly realistic here. So I really just want to create like these little sectional pops of color with our reds, just to give it some extra pop. Playing with some ideas here. This isn't how I normally paint. And let's go in, let's grab some dark greens now. Or I guess we could go in with blue. Let's go in with a dark navy blue, ultramarine blue. Got some of this color. Let's add this into our green here. Just find a really dark shade of green. And let's just bring these down. So we're going to go really just trying something different with our painting. Just so, you know, painting can get stale. Like, at least for me, if I do the same exact style of painting, I'm just like, I do something different, you know? It's just the way my mind works. I know some incredibly disciplined, talented, amazing, some of the best in the world artists can just like do one style and master it and they become known for that. I don't know how they do it, but that's probably what makes them so great and fantastic and wonderful. For me, I might never be known for a single style, and that's okay. We'll see. You never know, because I do find myself, as far as like discovering my own ideas, you know, leaning towards certain things. But at the same time, that's one of those things where you really gotta choose, you know, you gotta pick. You gotta pick. But I do like how this is turning out. It just creates like a really poppy sensation, you know? There's like just these designs and all that. Let's go. Grab our yellow, grab our mineral spirit. So how do I get this effect? In case anyone's wondering, just taking a straight brush or a flat brush and just dipping a little bit of paint on the tip and just making lines. You know what I think is nice about these lines is like, you know, they look very straight and amazing, right? This is the appearance of like high level of precision, even if, you know, there might not be an illusion of super precision and thought with every single stroke, even if it's not. And my mentors always said that's what painting really is. You know, you're creating an illusion for people. You are creating an illusion a 3D or whatever, right? It doesn't have to be 3D, it could be, 2D or whatever. But if you're going for 3D, that's all you're doing, is you're really just making an illusion. And that's it. You are a magician with the visual cues. So here we go, we're going to come down into here and we're just going to go. Let's bring our green into this. So getting a bunch of green, yellow, green, yellow. No, needs more yellow. Needs more yellow. So let's see where this can go. Just add these little pops of green all around. Can actually bring some down here. Let's add a couple pops of green down here. Let's just make this. Go a little higher with this. Just go. What goes up here? Yeah, so let's go with some dark greens here. So we're going to go grab an ultramarine blue here. Let's go ahead and take ultramarine, dip it in some mineral spirits to make it more spreadable. And let's just find some shadows. We're just going to bring in some shadow colors here. Just some nice deep shadow colors with our ultramarine blue. This might be a little too dark, but that's okay. We can adjust it later. We'll definitely be painting over, some more. Painting is definitely a lot more work to do. Get in some deep shadows. You can actually probably take this, mix it with our. Let's grab a little bit of brown just to get like a more natural feel. And let's get some of these bushes in the background. I might be teetering on the border of making this too similar. So I want to switch up my brush a little bit. When I say similar, I don't want this whole painting to just like all these brush strokes just look the same, right? You can, but that's not what I'm going for. So I do want to switch up my brush a little bit. This one's going to be a filbert, so rather than a straight brush, we're going for a filbert. We're going to add some details in the background here. Let's go. Let's fill this space in. It's not looking that great right now, but we'll see. We'll start to adapt and transform here. Let's narrow it down to some really basic dark shapes. And I'm totally ready to switch my brush up. I'm gonna use this brush just to change things up. Let's go bring in lots of green, yellow green. Got some more yellow. I just used this tube and I'm almost already totally through with this, about halfway done with this yellow. Because I don't have like the perfect green that gives me the yellow that I'm looking for. So I have to use a lot of this color. It's like, there's just this bright detail here. And I'm just thinking about how am I going to, fill in the rest of this space. What's the most important, detail to figure out here? So let's go like this. Maybe right into here. I'm just playing with this like super loose designs of color and just seeing what we can do, how we can build things up. How these colors can eventually merge into one another. Doing like a crisscross applesauce type of thing right here. And maybe even for this, we just go boom, 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 boom. Need some more paint. Not enough paint there. I mean, more mineral spirit, just to get this. Just building up some color here. I think this painting style, what I'm doing right now, pretty much aligns with the way my mind works. I know some people's minds, I think as artists, cheese and strange. Thank you, Bobo Go. So what I think is like, some people, it's times like these when I'm doing paintings like this that I really realize like how art really reflects how people's minds work. Because as I'm painting this, there are some artists that they paint and it's just like perfection, right? Like they paint and every line, every color goes exactly, perfect. And, for me, my mind is just like, just here, there. I just have so much going on in my head that this style actually works for me of just this like constant, just lots of crazy brush marks. And as far as my artwork goes, sometimes I like this idea of, art really being a reflection of someone's mind. not everyone's art has to be like this, but I think inadvertently everyone's art is like that, right? Like not everyone. I think there was an entire movement where you're supposed to totally remove the. I think it's called the. What are they called? The Immaculates. There's a art movement called the Immaculates. Immaculates. And they're known for like the super hard edge painting. So when I say hard edge, I mean, you know, like clean edges, tape to create clean edges. You know, they make these really hard edge paintings. And, you know, they make these paintings and you're not supposed to have any, you know, reflection of the artist, right? The artist really isn't meant to like express themselves as far as brushwork is concerned, because it's all hard edges. So if you want to paint a square, you don't loosely paint the square. You tape a square, and you use a perfect amount of paint to paint in the square perfectly. So that's like something the Immaculates might have done. And I'm not an expert on the Immaculates. I've only briefly read about them, but I would consider that even the Immaculates, like, you know, that's a reflection on itself. You can't avoid you unless you have somebody, you give someone else an idea and have them paint it for you. Even then, I'd find an argument that that's a reflection of yourself as well. As long as you were the one that came up with the idea. Like even AI, right? I think even AI, anyone who comes up with AI, that's a reflection of themselves, right? That's a reflection of someone who wants to use AI rather than making the work themselves. Which, to a lot of people, that's very upsetting. But as I'm making this, you know, I think that this is just a reflection of what's on my mind. Just this constant movement, this constant activity just being in my head. And whether it's working or not, I don't know, but that's what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, as I was saying, I think, you know, art, you can't really remove the artist from the art, you know? As far as like what's in their head, right? Like how their mind works, what their interests are, their habits. It's really difficult to remove yourself from an art piece, no matter how distant, unless maybe like you telepathically give someone an idea and they somehow receive your idea and do something totally on their own. Here we are. I'm just building up building up our greens here. Let's go with some yellows, the ochres. Let's find some ochre greens. Get our mineral spirit going on this. Let's find some ochre greens. I think this will be a good spot for an ochre green, so we're just going to go boom, 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 boom. And then up here, we'll start to build some of these ochre greens. I think eventually we'll get into more detail. I could honestly probably just leave this and call it a painting, but I'm not going. I just love the building up of these colors here. There we go. All right. How do I get a good leaf color? Good leaf color is a mix between yellow and like a green. Right, chlorophyll reflects green. So we're just going to come into here, get some nice green highlights in here. Paint booger right there. Let's go into here. I'm gonna get some nice greens. to this space right here. And this is just building, I'm really just building up this layer here, because there needs to be a lot more that happens. But I at least want to leave, like, get this green layer down first, and like work from here. Let's see, we're gonna go around. I really just want to work from here. And I have this color variety here. I'm really liking this brush. I love this crisscross effect here. I love everything about my paintings. Everything. I think everybody should love their artwork, no matter how good or bad. But love it enough that you're willing to improve it if you deem it necessary. Let's just get a little loose with this. Oh yeah, this side needs some highlights. So we're gonna bring in some highlights with our yellow. And just being totally, just relaxing with this painting, right? Let's just relax. Let's just have fun, enjoy ourselves. What's the point of painting if you don't enjoy yourself, right? Just have fun. It's Friday night. It's Friday night. Might as well put your time into something you enjoy. So, actually, my painting, or my television, was destroyed the other night. Because I got angry and I punched it. No, just kidding. I didn't do that. But our TV pooped out. I don't know exactly what happened, technically speaking, right? It just stopped working at one point. It made a big pop sound, and we couldn't figure out what it was. But it made a pop sound, and that was it. It was done. So after that. So the past few days I've been painting for a little bit longer because I don't really have a good reason to stop painting. I don't have a TV to go watch, which maybe that's for the better, right? No distractions. I mean, I could go watch. I'm not saying that I don't use my phone anymore and like go on YouTube. Not saying that. I like how this is turning out. It's keeping its fairly loose design here. Let's go with something an even smaller brush in a second. Right now I want to finish building up some of these areas with some more pops of yellow. Maybe even yellow ochre in some sections. But let's go ahead and grab this yellow. Let's just like build up some of these spaces. So I want to go. Maybe let's start to like build up some of our leafy designs. Because this is a natural scene, so rather than just like keeping all these like straight edges, let's start to build up like a flowery look here. And even this is fairly experimental for me. I haven't really built up painting in this method before. grabbing our yellows. And let's see, we go into here a little bit. Let's bring this down into here. Let's go like this. And hey, the beauty of this, the way I'm painting, is anybody could do this, right? Like I'm not really overthinking any of these strokes. I think if I was overthinking them or thought more, I might be able to create something less flat. I'm not sure if this will turn out too flat or not yet. But my goal is to make it not be flat. But we'll see. You never know. We could have, we could have some issues. So I just really just want this layer. And I think what I'm gonna go for here is like a. I'm gonna start with these, these big strokes here that I'm doing. So Mizu asks, what's the inspiration for my brushwork? Thank you for that question. If I could only find the books of my inspiration. So there's 2 books that are inspiring this brushwork. One of them I can't find. One of them I can't find. Maybe one day I'll get it back. But one of the books is The Beginner's Guide to Oil Paint You've Always Wanted, or whatever. I can't remember the name of it exactly. But the second inspiration for the brushwork is definitely Richard Schmidt's Alla Prima. And in this book, I just love his brushwork. I absolutely love his brushwork. I love his brushwork. It's just so loose, so free, so expressive. Get a close-up of his brushwork. It's just amazing. It's beautiful. And somehow he creates these beautiful accents. And that's really what I'm going for, just like building up these colors with all this wild brushwork. And just, so afterwards, after I'm done working with some of this brushwork, I'm going to, build smaller things on top of it. If I could ever find that book, I would be very happy. Let me see. I think it's back here. This is what happens when you let other people organize your stuff for you. Is the stuff that you really need just tends to disappear. And gosh, it's very upsetting that I can't find my book. Alright, well, anyways, I would totally show that book if I could, if I had it. Not you, case closed. Alright. So, anyways, you know, ultimately the inspiration is just taking bigger, more expressive brush work, and eventually, you know, finding ways to make it work. You know, maybe I need some more ochres right now. Let me try to find. There's so much green going on. I want to try to reduce the green a little bit. So I want to find like a brown. Let me go with a brown here. Going with our raw umber. You know, let's go. Just a looser painting style here. Go with this raw umber. Let's go in here, and let's find a little gap right here for our brown here. Just to capture a natural, there's this feel of like natural colors, right? A little bit more of let's do a natural zone right here. Let's grab this yellow ochre mixed with our raw umber. Maybe it's a burnt umber. Raw umber, burnt umber. I don't know my umbers very well. Raw umber or burnt umber. So we're going to come in here like this. But what else is inspiring this brushwork? My brain. You know, this brushwork is actually really pleasing to my brain. And how do I explain that? Like, that sounds really weird. But, you know, you ever have like an activity where your mind just kind of like, works for your mind? Your mind just kind of gets in a flow? Well, that's somewhat what this is. You know, my brain, I'm guessing, just works in this way, right? It just likes to work in this like, hey, let's just, you know, do a bunch of brush strokes kind of way. Not always. My brain's not always like this, but definitely sometimes I feel like it's nice to break out, try to find, you know, some different ways of doing things. So trying to find some browns here. Go in with our browns. Let's grab some more of this umber. And let's actually just place it down nice and thick here. Nice and thick. Look at, this is a good, nice, thick spot. There you go. Here's a nice, thick spot. So let's go into our blues with our highlights here. Let's bring this umber into our blue. Give it a little bit more of like more variety in this color area, this color zone here. Let's see, where else can we find some of these browns? We can find some browns right there, right there. One thing I fail to paint in a lot of my landscape paintings is I fail to paint the dirt. Because, you know, if you ever look at a bush, right? A bush is always the bush, and then there's some dirt underneath. But most of my paintings, like, because of the way I paint, I tend to lose the dirt. But I feel like the dirt actually, like, helps to add so much character. So I'd like to, you know, at least bring in a little bit of a dirt color into this one. It doesn't always look good. Like, you know, no one really cares about the dirt. They want to see the reds and the purples and the, you know, the pretty colors. So I guess you said what's inspiring their inspiration for the brushwork. So there's like what's inspiring and what's informing, I guess. What's inspiring is really just like, getting a feel for this, feeling out this painting, and just having fun with it. What's the inspiration, I guess? Yeah, I mean that's the inspiration. Enjoying the feeling of this. So we're gonna come down. Let's get some branches here. So where should these branches go? How many times can I stutter in one sentence? Where should brushes go? These are gonna be a little darker, so that's fine. Let's get our burnt umber. Let's get our burnt umber in here. Let's go like this. We're gonna paint back over this. And then we're going to go right down into here. Just go into here. We're going to go boom, boom. This could even be a little longer, actually. So these might be a little bit longer as far as the brushwork goes. Bigger trees, longer trees. Let's try to find this. We're going to go come down from here, and we're going to go bam. Nice thick branch right there. And this branch is actually going to curve up a little bit. And then another one back here that's just sitting in the background. We could start to build up our color on top of that. I like what color this is, so let's try to find another space for this. Let's go. Find some more space. I think there needs to be some highlights of ochre over here. Let's get some highlights of ochre right there, right there. And here's the thing, this has to be a masterpiece because this is based on the Getty Museum. And you can't just paint a very famous museum, very beautiful place in an ugly way. So, this might be my 100th masterpiece. Someone out there's like, how dare you call it a masterpiece? It's ugly. It sucks. You suck, Emmett. Your paintings suck. Don't ever call something a masterpiece. I make up voices for the self-criticisms in my head. But no, in all seriousness, when I say that, the reason why I'm saying it like that is because this is a really famous museum. You don't want to paint it in an ugly way. You gotta paint it nice. It has to be nice. It has to be a good paint. So let's go like this. What is this? Oh, I have some dark blues on this though, right? Oh yeah, let's get these shadows nice and dark here. Let's go and get some shadows in there. I'm gonna bring some shadows. Let's get some shadows into here. I'm gonna get some nice black in here, right? Some nice black and dark colors. Just to spice up, right? Everything's so happy and bright. Why not add some shadow? Some areas where, the shadow is, the mud is, the dark, where the light don't shine, right? Just add some of these shadows, just to create some drama. What's a painting without any drama, right? It's a boring painting. If there's no drama, it's just a boring painting. Gotta add some drama. let's make drama here. Some nice dark areas. So this is the sound that paint makes. Get some nice shadows there. That's a good shadow. Let's go a little bit darker. Let's make sure that we got this blue slash umber here. Let's go like this. Bring this down. Nice deep shadows. Ooh, yeah, look at that. I think we're getting some drama, right? Just a little bit of drama. A little bit of detail. Here we go. We're going to go around. Let's go curve this around here. A little bit of shadow, just to add some drama. And this has enough drama. This right here, we could have some drama. When I say drama, I'm just saying how I define shadows is, I think shadows, anything that's a darker value than the rest, is just a way to add drama. Just a way to add. That's what I'm saying when I'm saying drama here is, you can just add shadow there. Shadows create drama, I think. Not lights. I don't think lights create drama. Shadows create drama. So we're going to create, let's go around and just bring this around. Bring this around. Bam. I mean, you have to have light to have shadow, right? But if I was to make something up right now and say it is shadows that create drama, tension, it is the shadows that create the tension in the painting, right? And here we go. So this walkway, there's a lot of drama going on here. And let's go. This building up here still needs to be adjusted, so this actually has to be at the same angle as that. So let's fix this building up here. So what am I looking at? Excuse me. What am I looking at? I shall share. What am I talking about? So this up here, this building looks like it kind of like cuts off and goes that way, but it's not. It's supposed to, this needs to be a continuation of this. So whatever this angle is, I kind of got to push that angle up. So that's a mistake that I made, and hopefully I can adjust it. The hard part about adjusting it is finding that same color. That's the hard part about adjusting it, is finding this like same color here. So whatever this angle is needs to be at this same angle. So I'm just guessing that it's probably something like that. And let's go like here. We're gonna go ahead and match this and blend this across so that it looks like one piece. How does that look? It looks a little better. A little better. Oops. Let's make sure we get a nice thick layer of paint onto this. Nice thick layer of paint. Let's go right here. Let's combine that. Combine this. Bring this up. Is that about the same angle? Should be about the same angle, right? No, it needs to be much steeper, right? Maybe even steeper. Huh. Let me actually bring some of this color into here. I'm gonna, tighten up this area a little bit. Looking a little bit. The rest, everything else is like so perfectly shaped that I feel like, this section right here could use a little bit of shaping. So let's actually carve out this area right there. Just carve that out a little bit. Carve that out. Carve this out. Let's add a little highlight. We'll go right here. Now we're going to go, let's add some more highlight. We're going to bring our white into this section right here. Alright, and even into here, you know what? I can bring a little bit of this, just let's see, where would this go? Let's probably go like right in these bushes right here, right? This building, because this building comes down. So wherever this bush is, right here, I'm going to go bring this up a little bit. There we go. There's Van Gogh painting. The guy is so good. It's your first time here. Hey, Michael Wilbur. Well, welcome. What brings you in today? What brings you to our exciting live stream, young man? What brings you to this very exciting live stream today? And here we go. We're going to go like this. I'm just going to actually bring this all the way up. I'll try to match this angle here. I just want to bring this angle up. Michael Motor says, "Who is this famous artist?" Oh, wow. Finally, some recognition for my work. After 3 months of painting, it's about time that people have recognized me as famous. No, just kidding. By the way, that's totally a joke. I've not been only painting for 3 months. I've been painting for 4. No, all right, so Bobo Go. Honestly, they need to have better script writers. Oh, wait, Bobo Go. Oh, my goodness. Amazon Live. My Amazon Live doesn't usually chat with me as much, so I've had a hard time keeping up with both of you. So I didn't ban Bobo Go. That's right. I won't ban Bobo Go. Bobo Go's great. We finally watched Wicked. They needed better script writers. The actors did their job. Best Cinderella movie. Cinderella's Revenge. That was a good movie. All right, cool. Bobo the Go Go. Bobo the Go Go. Bobo's the Go Go. We can make a jingle, a Bobo Go jingle. How about that? Bobo Go, the Bobo Go. Go Go Bo, the Go Go Bo. Let's go, Bobo. And let's see. All right, so we've got some shadow stuff going on in there. I might have to, I'd make some adjustments, but let me see if I can find. I want to find some super light, subtle blues to put into our trees here. Some super subtle light blues, because these trees are just really boring. It needs to be lighter, lighter, lighter. It's live. Gotta find some. These trees are just really boring. I don't. Who likes a boring tree? Nobody. No art teacher ever said paint a boring tree. Okay? Like we all wonder about what art teachers say. Everyone's like, oh well, my art teacher said this, my art teacher said that, but like, does anyone really ever think about what their art teachers did not say? Stuff that should be pretty much like common sense, right? Like, don't paint a boring tree. That sounds like common sense. If you're gonna paint a tree, don't make it boring. Don't paint a tree, make it an exciting tree. The reason why no teacher ever says that is probably because it should be like common sense. It's like, why would you ever paint a boring tree?